Alright, Bromance Wargaming here with another campaign battle report. Tonight we got Matt's Dark Elves versus Dallas's Lizardmen. Dallas, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of everything. Everything.
Alright, in the beginning. Alright, so what we're having here is this is campaign turn 6.
Okay.
My Lord Kukulkan's forces are facing again against, wasn't it Illyria's Reavers?
No, it's Jethar the Defiler's Expeditionary Force.
Yeah, the Expeditionary Force that we just had faced in the siege battle. And my forces were defeated in the very end. But we decided on our moves to clash again, apparently. I was thinking he was going to hold. He didn't. So we got another scenario here on campaign turn 6. It is a Watchtower game. What we have as far as items, we have a scree slope over behind his forces.
Okay, right there.
Yep. Over there we have a wording well, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Over here, I believe it's just a regular building.
Okay, off in the corner. No one cares about that. It's been abandoned.
Sorcerer's Portal here, in the middle, near mine. And over here is a Kimmerine Quicksand. And of course, in the middle is our Watchtower that we are facing.
What do these magical terrains do for those of us who are noobs and don't understand?
Well, the wording well is if you are near it, you can drink from it and gain a bunch of different abilities, some good, some bad. And sort of the same thing with the Sorcerer's Portal. It casts a spell on the nearest force that's unit that's near it, and it has some mostly beneficial effects, but there are a couple bad ones.
Okay.
Matt won to try to put a force in the Watchtower, but he decided not to.
Okay.
And then we started deployment.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and take me through your deployment, Dallas?
All right. I'll go from this side and go across.
Sounds good.
Right here we have my Salamander, my Charmander.
All right.
With extra handler. Here we have 10 Skink Skirmishers, and we have a level 2 Skink Priest next to him.
Okay.
Here is a group of 20 Saurus Warriors with a Musician and a Standard Bearer. And inside of it I have an Old Blood General, and I'm using a little Temple Guard BSB instead of a Scarvet, and he's my BSB. Going over here onto this side, I have 20 Saurus Warriors, full command. Just to let you know, even though they have spears, we're using them with hand weapons.
All right.
And then we have 10 more Skink Skirmishers with a level 1 Skink Priest. And then on the far side have another Salamander. As you can see, I deployed 2 sets of Chameleon Skinks on each side of his flank. I'm kind of worried because he had more skirmishers and his shades. I cannot stand shades. So I'm not sure how well the deployment of the scouts worked, but we will see.
All right. You got any tactical elements you want to share at the beginning, or you want to wait and surprise Matt?
I want to surprise him.
Okay. Matt, how about your Dark Elves?
We've got 6 shades with additional hand weapons that I deployed after this unit.
Okay.
They're just barely 12 out, so they're gonna try and keep his skinks from suicide bomb charging my wizard and killing her. Notice I didn't deploy over here in these shades because there's not a chance that he can move in and snipe a character in combat.
Gotcha.
I've got my 5 Harpies, 15 Warriors with full command, 21 Corsairs with a Standard and a Champion. The Champion actually has double repeater handbows because I had 3 extra points.
Okay, nice.
That'll just give them a tiny bit of shooting. 20 Blackguard with a Standard. I haven't glued the Standard on those guys yet. As they're Dark Eldar pieces, they actually don't come with Standards, so I guess they don't use Standards in 40k, but I just haven't put mine on. This is my Pegasus BSB with, well, what Dallas knows is heavy armor, a lance, a shield, a Sea Dragon cloak,
Okay.
and probably some other stuff. And then I have my other 2 units of 6 shades with additional hand weapons that I deployed up by the tower. I didn't deploy my bunker unit in the tower because I didn't think it could stand 2 combats worth of fighting from the Saurus and still have anybody left. I'm pretty sure he would assassinate my level 3, who's on Lord of Shadow.
Okay.
And that would be my general and all my magic.
And out of curiosity, how come you chose to go with the line?
Miscast. If she miscasts, there's less models touching her, there's less templates that'll touch her. He's got salamanders. If the salamanders throw a template down, there'll be less template damage there.
Good stuff. Good to know.
Bromance Wargaming has a tendency to miscast like bosses.
Yes.
And
I think we're like 90% miscast rate.
Yeah. So I'm as far as tactically goes, I'm scared of the salamanders, and I got Pit of Shades, so I think Dallas is going to hate me when it comes to my magic phase with the Saurus at Initiative 1.
Is that the only spell you got, or what else did you get?
No, I got Pit, Miasma, and the Withering.
Okay.
I opted not to take Mind Razor because me and Dallas are friends, and I want to keep it that way.
All right, and Dallas, what kind of spells did you get?
All right, for my level 1, I just went with the Ice Shard Blizzard.
All right, good
And for the level 2, it is Ice Shard Blizzard and the Harmonic Convergence.
All right, any last phrases, or are we just going to go straight to turn 1?
I guess we're going to turn 1, which is Dallas.
For the old ones.
Whatever.
All right, we'll be back at the end of Dallas's turn 1. All right, Dallas, end of Lizardmen turn 1.
Yeah.
Looking at the board, I see you moved a lot of stuff up. There's a few cards on the table. What happened?
All right, so yeah, I moved everybody up a little bit. I fearful for a double shade attack on my skink, so I moved them around to kind of hide a little bit. I moved everybody. This was the closest unit, and they got wild form from the Sorcerer's Portal.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Nope, that's pretty good. During my magic phase, I tried Ice Shard Blizzard on these guys, and it went through. I tried it also on these guys, and he dispelled it. Then during my shooting phase, my Chemist Skinks moved in on either side and took a few warriors out. I tried to make a flame attack on these shades, hoping with a little bit extra leadership it might make them run away. It did not. I hit them. I hit 3 of them, but I rolled like 2s and 1s on my wound, so it sucked. Overall, I'm filling this one out. I'm kind of worried about what those shades are going to do in front, but I'm just going to see what happens.
All right, we'll come back at the bottom of turn 1. All right, Matt, looks like the end of Dark Elves turn 1. Let me know what happened.
I didn't make any charges. My Ice Shard Blizzard unit that was my shades that were up here moved back here and fired and killed 1 guy. These shades moved this way and fired and didn't do anything because apparently this salamander is a skirmisher, even though it's also a monster and handler, so I don't really know how that works. But in any event, I'm not going to complain because I could run a Hydra. And these guys picked 1 wound off of the actual beast itself.
Okay.
I did some wheeling. Harpies blocked this unit over here, and my BSB flew up to be a badass by himself and kind of hold that whole flank. In Magic, I threw the Withering on this guy, but it only lowered him by 1, which was unfortunate since I only managed to wound him once, but I hit him 5 or 6 times. And he Dispel Scrolled my Pit, very unsportsmanlikely, on his general.
Sportsman, sir.
You'd rather I cast Mind Razor? You'd rather I got Mind Razor?
This turn, yes.
So it looks like there's 2 spells on this unit now?
Yes, it actually, during the magic phase, the Sorcerer's Portal actually casts Wild Form again. So those swords are actually Strength and Toughness 6 right now, which means that I'm not going to mess with them.
Not for a while, right?
Yeah, no, not for a long time.
All right, looks like that's about it. We'll catch you at the end of top of turn 1. All right, Mr. Dallas, end of top of turn 2.
Exactly.
Tell me what happened.
Okay. I'm still moving some people around. My only charge was my main group of Saurus into his shades. He fled, and so he's running like a little coward. And so I just moved a couple inches up. Woo. I moved some other people around. trying to get away from the BSB over here, move some people, as you can see. I moved my level 1 out of that unit because I'm fearful this is going to get taken out pretty quickly, so I wanted to try to save them. Other than that, it was a little bit uneventful. I put Ice Sharp Blizzard on that group of Corsairs there, hoping if I could get a wound through with my Salamander, it might help a little bit with making them boogie. But unfortunately, I misfired and took out one of my handlers over there.
Okay.
The other side, I clipped his BSB over here, but got the wound through his armor save, but he has the gem that gives him the 2-up
Dragon gem?
Yep, that gives him the 2-up save against flaming attacks, so that was pretty useless. And back behind there, I'm moving my skinks around, trying to take out that main group of warriors. And I was taking out 4 or 5, I think, this turn.
5, I think.
Yeah. So slowly taking them out, very slowly.
All right.
Other than that, I'm just trying to get my main groups up and getting them into combat.
And I see that wild form went off on them this time.
It did.
That's 3 in a row with the wild form. All right, we'll be back at bottom of turn 2. All right, we got bottom of turn 2. Matt, tell us what happened.
Well, this was promised to be a good turn. I failed my leadership test here with the Mighty 11, and so I had to charge Charmander, who fled. These guys rolled where you can see them, so they are 11 away from that source block.
Okay.
My Blackguard charged the front of that source block. The goal was to withering them in the magic phase since they don't have any characters. I was actually looking at hitting them, killing them, and then reforming to face the tower, and then kind of going in the tower. But that didn't work out so well because I failed to charge, so I'm redirecting with the Harpies. I'm stalling. My BSB charged the unit of Skinks. You can see that he caught them. They didn't flee very far.
Empty space.
He's facing the back of this unit and the level 1 wizard and generally the rest of the board. My Shades created a ring around the Chameleon Skinks and ran them off the board. These Skinks are going to have to get dealt with next. These Shades kept running because the Chameleon Skinks here had killed enough of these guys to pull her out of 12-inch range because they actually rolled a 9, which they would have stayed on. These Shades moved up, fired, and plinked a wound off of that Salamander that's running. In Magic, I threw the Withering on this unit, so they're down by 2 toughness to toughness 2 in case they try to charge me. And I threw the large template pit. He failed to dispel it by 1 or 2. And
1.
Everything was over it, and it ended up just clipping 3 guys here at the very edge, and he rolled a 1, a 1, and a 2, so I killed a single guy with the Pit of Shades. But don't let that fool you, I'm going to continue to try.
Pit of Shades sucks. You should stop using it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, quit using it.
All right, so that's I think that's it.
That's pretty much my turn, so we're going to get on to
turn 3. Monsieur Dallas.
That is me.
What turn? Top of turn 3?
Top of turn 3.
Give me the rundown. Give me the skinny.
Okay.
Give me the jive.
What happened was I was going to try to charge into the Corsairs with these. I did not make the charge. I rolled a 6. I needed a 7, so I just blah 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 moved up a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of crappy. Over here, he had his Harpies blocking. It was automatically did it, so that was no problem. And as you can tell, during the combat, I took him out.
Okay. What is that right there?
That is Speed of Light, which came from the Sorcerer's Portal during the Magic phase.
All right.
Which during the Magic phase, I pretty much just removed the Withering from these guys, and I tried to cast Ice Sharp Blizzard, which he dispelled.
Okay.
Shooting, I took out a few more of his warriors back there in our little scout battle in the back of his ranks. He rolled a 10, which he needed with his Standard of Discipline. Rock on. And my Salamander over here misfired and killed a handler. I've got lucky on the misfires though. I've only taken one out each time, and these guys kept running.
Cowards.
I am sacrificing my level 1 over here to try to delay a turn.
Okay.
That's about it. I was hoping to get this charge in to start getting my main block into his and hopefully do some damage before the pits, which I know is inevitable, goes off and totally wipes me out. But that didn't work, so I'm hoping that I can keep pits from happening one more turn and get into combat.
All right, well, we will come back at Dark Elves, bottom of turn 3. Yes, sir. Bottom of turn 3, what happened?
Finally rallied the shades, moved these guys back a little bit, moved these guys forward a little bit, did an encircling maneuver, moved these guys up. He still can't charge them because he can't get past these bros. My BSB came to get into the support position. My shades over here ignored the salamander and shot some skinks. And that's really pretty much it. That's how my turn went. I threw a giant pit at that unit. I rolled a 23. He got double 6s. So, but that is the second time this game I've rolled 6 dice and not miscast, which is really a first for Bromance Wargaming. Usually we're miscasting on 3 dice and 4 dice and
2 dice.
And so this time, you know, we've been throwing 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 dice at stuff, and nothing's been happening. I kind of think I actually would have welcomed that miscast, especially if I could get the hit on that giant pit. But anyway, I digress. Things are going to look bad for me since I didn't try to withering anybody, but that's the way it goes. So we'll see if I'm still alive at the end of this turn.
All right. All right, sir, top of 4. What happened?
Well, this was finally a crazy round here.
Okay.
My main units finally got into combat. I charged the Corsairs with my main group of Saurus. I charged the Blackguard with my other group of Saurus.
What Corsairs?
Yeah, I was able to win that one. I rolled really well on my armor saves and my parry saves to take a good bit of that. And then I won combat and chased him down.
Okay.
Over here, it flipped. His Blackguard decimated my Saurus. I had a few wounds in, 4 I think. He took out 12, and I ran, and luckily am just out of range, and hope I'm just going to keep on running and keep those points somehow. I don't know.
Okay.
Otherwise, I brought him around to try to take some shots at them. It didn't work. My salamander rallied. On the other side, my skinks also rallied.
Excellent.
And they're facing a execution squad over there. They need a last wish. And my salamander misfired again. That's like 3
in a row.
This game with my salamanders. Charmander is not being a friend of mine. I brought my level 1 wizard over here to try to block from him getting anything really good, and he got soul blighted. Not a big deal, but it would have been nicer to be on him, but I was taking a chance to try to keep him from getting, you know, wild formed or something that would have caused me some heartburn.
All right.
It's been hectic, been crazy. We'll just see how it goes. I was able to take out his Corsairs. I need to get them back around and start doing something.
Okay.
So it's looking.
It could go either way at this point. We'll see you at the bottom of 4. All right, Matt. Bottom of 4. What's going on?
Well, I ignored these guys, and the remains of the chameleon skinks here moved this way to kind of block a little bit and get some shots at the salamander. I did a single wound, which is good actually. That's about standard for what I've been doing. He chased the skinks down and killed them. These guys, the source, I'm sorry. These guys moonwalked backwards. The Blackguard are not actually there. They actually swift reformed and walked into the tower. These shades shot at the skinks first, which was a bad call because the skinks ran and are now out of these guys shooting. So they're just kind of standing there waiting to get shot by a salamander.
Okay. The soul blight over there.
Yep, that guy's double soul blighted. Also, Since it is the end of turn 4 and this is Watchtower, if I roll the dice and if I get a 6 because I'm in control of the tower, I'll win.
All right, let's see what happens.
That's it, folks. Victory for the Dark Elves. Dallas.
Oh, dice.
Shake.
Excellent.
All right, you know what?
That was a great game. I had a lot of fun with the skirmisher battle, even though your Chameleon Skinks gave me a good run for my money with my much more expensive shades.
Yeah, it was still a lot of fun. I think, looking back on it, I probably should have, I don't know, I gave up the possibility of the tower. I was hoping to get the combat into them to beat them and hold them back, but it didn't quite work because of the Saurus losing to the Blackguard. That, and I think some of my targets with my salamanders early on weren't quite that great. I think I need to work on that a little bit more. Those are the main things. Can't really think of anything else I really need to do better. But I'm going to look at this battle report afterwards and think on it a lot more and see what I could have done. Because I think if I could have gotten to combat a little bit quicker, maybe I would have been able to turn the tide. But otherwise, it was a good game. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, even though I lost. It won't be so bad that my banner gets disbanded.
Nope.
So
in fact, I actually think if we went to victory points that you might win.
maybe it'd be close. So otherwise, you know, he gets the territory and he gets the banner. So that's what I was hoping against, to keep him down to 2. Mm-hmm. But hey,
it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was still a fun game. It was a well.
It really was. Matt, what do you got? Any thoughts?
Well, I really feel like I misplayed some shades. I felt like I was a little too aggressive and maybe picked some wrong targets. Like Dallas, I'm going to look over the game in the battle report. I'm going to see what I did wrong, get a little hindsight on there. But my initial response is that I really think I played those shades wrong. Once I started doing the encircling maneuver around the chameleons, I could contain them with a single unit of shades. But if you remember at the beginning, I had 2 units of shades devoted, pretty much. And really what I think I should have done was run shades here and here to protect my bunker unit, because my plan really was to, when I saw that Dallas wasn't getting in the tower, that his plan was to engage me and then get in the tower later. My plan was to engage on the flanks and run my bunker into the tower. But with full command, 1 average Joe, and the sorceress, that was a risky prospect.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just do that glibly. Actually, I feel like that I did a good job of keeping him out of combat, but really a lot of that wasn't mine to do. He failed a 7-inch charge, he failed to roll a 7 with this unit, which was huge. That unit would have been back in the game. If that hadn't happened, he would have been in 1 turn earlier. But other than that, I felt like I played a decent game. I kind of think that Dallas played the better game, and Dallas may have deserved that win over me.
And luckily stayed away from the pit.
Yeah,
Initiative 1, I survived the pit multiple times.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that the pit is maybe not my best answer to things that are scary as mess. Both times that I rolled the big pit, I scattered 7 inches, which isn't bad. That's pretty average. Just for me, normally when I'm rolling for the Gork with my orcs, I'm hitting, half the time. Or as these guys can attest, when I'm rolling artillery, my Doom Divers are always dead on. My Rock Lobbers are always dead on. And so I was just kind of expecting that again to help me win this combat, because I knew that they were going to beat the Corsairs, but it didn't happen.
I think another thing that was interesting too, that I don't know how much it's affected, but the fact that dice right there kept coming up for Dallas 3 times in a row, was it? Out of 4?
Yeah, it was 3.
Yeah, first turn he didn't roll a misfire, but every turn after that, one of the salamanders rolled a misfire.
So that was unfortunate, but dice. I mean, Pit of Shades didn't go off once, or it did go off, but didn't do anything really. So
and nobody miscast the entire game.
Exactly, that's a first for us.
I threw 5 dice at Pit. I threw 5 dice at Withering, 6 dice at Pit, 6 dice at Pit, 7 dice at Pit, no double 6s. He threw 2 dice at ice shard, 3 dice at ice shard, 4 dice at ice shard, no double sixes. So
only double six was on my dispel of the pit.
Yep, you dispelled that pit.
One thing I've seen on a few battle reports that I like, and people comment if you hate this idea, or you Dallas and Matt, best unit of the game and worst unit of the game.
If I have to pick, I would say the Blackguard for the obvious reason of they did 12 wounds to Saurus. All they have is the armor piercing banner. And a standard. They rolled really well. They killed 12. Then they got the swift reform and were in the building, so that this didn't go to VPs. I mean, that's clutch. It's obviously they're the best unit of the game.
Definitely.
For me.
Do you have a worst? Or most disappointing, I should say.
Really, probably the worst was my BSB. He's got the armor of regeneration, so he's got a 1-up armor save, regeneration, and a 2-up ward versus fire. And I was trying to get him to kill not just the 1 unit of skinks that he did, but also a salamander. And I just couldn't get into the salamanders. They're too quick. I'm not used to playing them yet. He did get the Saurus, which was nice. It gave me something else. And I love having somebody that I can use to chase people down with a fly speed.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably not going to drop him, especially from a 1,500 point list. But I really missed the Cauldron. Killing Blow against these would have been excellent. I could have tried to Killing Blow some characters out, and that would have been clutch. But he's 20 points cheaper, and I really think for the campaign that since this is the Expeditionary Force, I don't think that it's right that they have an altar yet.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a bunch of shades, they've got some conscripts, and they've got the 1 unit of tough people that keep everything in line. But so.
All right. For me, I think my best units were actually my Canadian skinks.
Okay.
Because I was able to really keep his shades out of combat because they were chasing them down, but at the same time we're taking some really good shots at his bunker unit with the wizard, and that's what I was hoping for, to get them in there and hopefully, take them all out. Possibly make them run. My worst unit. Probably my skinks, just because I wasn't really able to use them too well in this combat, and with their blowpipes, and a lot of times at long range they're hitting on 7, so the poison doesn't work too well. But their mobility was pretty good. I was able to kind of keep them moving around and out of danger for the most part. So yeah, those probably my skink skirmishers.
What about the most disappointing?
Most disappointing, my freaking salamanders. Misfiring all over the place.
Yeah.
What the heck? Charmander should be better.
He should. He really should. All right, guys. Well, this has been Bromance Wargaming. We actually have an email address, bromancewargaming@gmail.com. If you have any comments or suggestions, looking to improve, looking to make this, get better at time, more entertaining for you guys. So please feel free. If you notice anything we do wrong, let us know, so that we can correct ourselves for the future. And I think next time we'll have a bat rep will be tomorrow. We're going to do High Elves versus Goblins, the rematch. Thanks, guys.